Welcome back to Neville Knows. Today's subject, we're going to be looking at antifreeze and the ratios of antifreeze.
Neville knows, Neville knows, Neville knows. Oh, what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows. When what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows.
There seems to be a confusion with antifreeze. People want to know what is the difference between antifreeze and summer coolant. It is exactly the same thing. All it does is the glycol, ethylene glycol content, which is the mixture in the antifreeze, raises your boiling temperature and lowers your freezing temperature. In other words, you have more protection as to the water's movement of freezing and warming up in different climates. The 50% ratio, which is this one here, is actually a premix. It's 50-50. It's 50 ethylene glycol and 50 water. This is mainly for top-ups. When a guy's cooler bottle seems to be getting low, he's not sure of the ratio or how much water is in the vehicle, he uses the 50-50. The 96%, which is this glycol, is a 96% base glycol ethylene, but the mixture is colorants and there are some water minerals added to it to give it the correct mix. The problem with antifreeze is you should not mix colors. You get various colors for different brands of cars. There's red, there's yellow, there's green, there's blue. If your vehicle has the green antifreeze in it, do not add red. There's like a chemical reaction between the glycols and the antifreezes. So the best thing is to do a drain off once a year. When you use your antifreeze, top up with the required antifreeze and always put antifreeze first and then water later. What we found on antifreeze too is the vehicle's cooling system operates. This is actually vital because in the early years we used to have cast iron blocks, cast iron cylinder heads, and everything was gung-ho. As time progressed, we became a little bit more weight conscious and we started doing aluminium heads, cast iron blocks. Today we're basically doing the whole thing in aluminium and we're going as light as possible to get as much speed as possible and performance. So this has become, where it used to be a nice idea, it's become essential. You have to keep your glycol content up in the right correct ratios in your vehicle. The easy way to examine this is you watch your cooler bottle and over time you'll actually notice the color will start changing. The red will become a lighter pink and likewise the yellow will become almost white and the green, and it starts fading, and you'll also notice little granules floating inside the bottle. This is as the glycol has done its job. It keeps the water and everything inside the vehicle at a decent temperature and protects all your seals. Your water pump seal mainly, which is at the back of the water pump, is affected by hard temperatures. The seal hardens, cracks, and you find through the little weep hole you get a leak. Now also, speaking of leaks, normal water leaks in a vehicle are very hard to trace, especially when you've got a leak, you're losing water and you can't quite find it. The plus side is the colorant in the glycol gives you a clear indication. If you open your bonnet, you can see a hose, you see a little green discharge or seepage by the cylinder head gasket, then at least you can detect where the leak is taking place. So it's almost here's the problem and easy for identification. With colors of coolants, we strongly suggest never ever mix the two colors. As I said, there are chemical reactions to these things. Rather flush the radiator once a year at the change of the season. As much as this protects in cold weather, you require this dissipation of heat in hot weather. The thermostat, once the vehicle starts, stays closed and restricts the flow of water in the engine unit for about 20 seconds. Then slowly, the little thermostat actually cracks. They call it a cracking. It doesn't open gradually, it cracks open and allows the first bit of water through, or mixed glycol of course, through the system. And as you're driving, it allows more and more water until there's a steady flow of the ethylene going through the radiator, keeping your engine at a cool temperature. Now the top radiator hose, you'll notice, will always be warm. The bottom one will always be slightly cooler. The reason is the hot water goes in the top, goes through the radiator, through the cores, and comes out the bottom cool and back into the engine system. Lastly, although also important, to get the correct operation of this, you require correctly operating thermostats, and your fan is vitally important. A lot of people believe that a car fan blows the radiator. It does not. It sucks the wind from in front of the radiator and actually causes a vortex and draws it in through the radiator to the engine. This is also to prevent underbonded temperatures, which are escalating as the guys are padding the bonnets to prevent noise and getting smaller in engine compartments, so the heat range is climbing. So what happens if you're standing in traffic, your fan will switch on and it will simulate motion. It draws air through the radiator, through the cores, cooling the glycol content and allowing the flow of air to pass over the engine and dissipate heat. Thank you for watching Neville Knows, and this is brought to you by AutoZone and the AutoZone products.
Neville knows, Neville knows, Neville knows. Oh, what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows. When what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows.